Good evening. We'd like to call our meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Just make sure you turn your microphone on.
All right, I'd like to turn our meeting over to our solicitor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a little bit of housekeeping to do before we get to the hearings tonight, so just bear with us for a second. The first is to appoint the individual members of the Zoning Hearing Board as hearing officers in the event that we need to designate a single member to hear a matter. Okay. Weird to hear multiple of me at one time. So I guess the first motion that I would ask if there's support for is to appoint Deb Woodard as a hearing officer of the Zoning Hearing Board. Is there a motion?
Second.
And a motion?
Aye.
Okay, so that will mark that as designated. And the second motion I would ask someone to make is to appoint Bob Gwynn as a hearing officer of the Zoning Hearing Board.
Accept.
Yes.
All right, we'll mark that as, any objection?
Nope.
Okay, we'll mark both as designated. The second that I'll ask for, the second item of business is the designation of the 2024 hearing dates for the Zoning Hearing Board, and we'll read them into the record. The first being tonight, January 23rd. Then we'll have February 27th, March 26th, April 30th, May 28th, June 25th, July 23rd, August 27th, September 24th, October 22nd, November 26th, and December 17th. And if there's a motion for that motion and a second, we'll ask the township to publish those dates in accordance with meeting procedures.
I make a motion.
I second it.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll pass that on to, we'll ask the zoning officer to pass that on to the township. And the third is our request as your solicitor to be reappointed for this year.
And that we would like to reappoint Greg and Samantha as our solicitors going forward.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you kindly. We appreciate the ability to continue to serve the zoning hearing board. A couple of announcements. In addition, the board met in executive session prior to this evening's hearings to discuss questions of law related to the applications. And for all of you here tonight, welcome to the Upper Darby Zoning Hearing Board. If you are an applicant, we will call your hearing one by application number and address. If you are here in another capacity, there are two ways to participate in this evening's hearing. For each application, at the end of the presentation of testimony, we will provide the opportunity for public comment. Public comment means anybody can stand up and make a statement in support or in opposition to the application. It's just statements. If you feel that you are particularly affected by an application, you live or own property in close proximity, or you have some other particular interest, you can request what's called party status. We'll give you the opportunity at the beginning of each hearing to make that request. Party status affords you the right to question the applicant's witnesses or the applicant themselves, present testimony of your own, receive a copy of the board's decision in the matter, and if you disagree with the board's decision, the opportunity to take an appeal to the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas. If you plan on requesting party status for any of this evening's hearings, there are forms up on the front table next to the agenda that we would ask you to fill out all the information requested there and then hand it up to us, and that's how we are able to contact you and provide you with information and copies of those things that were mentioned. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we can proceed with hearings.
Okay, application 11 of 24 forgive me for mispronunciation, Olali. I can't pronounce the last name.
I think it's
5130 Whitehall Drive, Clifton Heights, PA. It's an R3 residential district in the second council district, requesting a variance from section 55044C2A to permit an enclosure of a rear porch of a single-family attached home, and also a variance from 55015D, table 42, to permit an encroachment into the rear yard setback.
Right, so before the applicant begins, the board will enter a couple exhibits. ZHB1 will be the application packet, ZHB2 will be the notice photos, and ZHB3 will be the proof of publication. Are you the applicant?
Yes.
Good evening. Can you, our apologies, can you just give us the pronunciation of your name?
My name is Olajumoke Olale.
Okay. Can we have the applicant sworn in, please?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, if you could give the board, just so you know, the board is a two-member board this evening, Ms. Woodard and Mr. Quinn. And so for the purposes of the application, if it's a tie vote, that will mean the application does not get approved. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So if you can give the board a summary of what you're planning to do and why you would like to do that.
Okay, so June last year, I just got a house, so I'm a first-time home owner. And then,
Can you speak up?
Speak into the mic.
okay, last year, 2023, June the 3rd, I got a house in 513 Whitehall Drive. And then it's a single house in a row. So we have, it's a 3-bedroom and a living room, and I have a porch. Right on the porch, I have a pantry. So there's a door from my house, which is the dining, to the pantry, and from the pantry to the porch. So I'm a first-time home owner. I don't know I'm supposed to get a permit for anything I have to do in the house, so I went ahead to cover it. But to cover it up, like to make it like an attached, so which I don't know, I have to come in first for the permission to get that. So my main reason for getting that was, first is for safety. I have 2 kids. I'm a single mother of 2, a boy and a girl. One is Hero, his name is Hero, he's 8 years, and I have a one Mina, which is 3 years. So my main concern is my son has a HAD, something like he's very hyperactive. And then I have a daughter. My main concern is my daughter. I think this will better explain the condition of my daughter. Because I noticed we have a lot of code coming from because there's a door that leads to the pantry to the house. I try to put stuff to cover it up, and even if I turn on the heat, it's like it's too hot. And this will explain much about my daughter's health. This is a letter from the doctor because she fell sick. And I actually got the house because the apartment I was living was mold, was not good for my daughter. And I tried to call them to do it, they didn't do it. So I had to go extra mile to get the house. And for the porch, I got a loan to get it, to cover it up, which I'm still yet to pay up. But this will explain much about my daughter's health. So mostly I get it done because of my kids, especially my daughter. So, and honestly, I did not know that I have to get a permit or come to the office here. I barely don't even know this place to get a permit or to say something about it. Because if I know I'm a good citizen, I would definitely do the right thing anytime that I have to do it.
Did you want to share that letter with the board?
Sure.
Or- Okay, so you can bring it forward and we'll take a look. We'll mark the doctor's letter as A1. So you have to go back to the microphone. Is there other stuff you? Yeah. Just let me take a look. So we'll mark the doctor's letter as A1. And then we'll mark a series of pictures of the constructed extension as A2. I think we have this already, so
Okay.
thank you. Unless, do you need it back? So were you beginning to say something else?
Yeah, so the picture, I wrote the one of my own house, and I see neighbors, they have the same thing, so I didn't even know maybe they went through this process to get it. So those are the pictures from my neighbors, and I wrote neighbors on it, and my own that I just put up.
Well, the board takes a look. Is there anybody else on your block that has an enclosed back porch or a back room like you're talking about?
Yes, I have the picture of it.
Oh, that's a different house?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll mark that as A3. And A4. There's two pictures in A2, and then A3 will be the gray extension, for the sake of the record, and the red extension will be A4. Does the board have any questions?
No.
Actually, no.
Nothing from the board? Okay. Do you want to ask for public comment then?
Yes.
Is there any public comment?
Okay.
Okay. That being said or not said, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
We'll mark that as all in favor.
All in favor, I'm sorry. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So you've been approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And you'll receive a written document from us within 45 days.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Have a good
Good
night.
luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Application 1-2 of 24. Forgive me for mispronunciation. Udong, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
59 Brewery Road in Upper Darby is an R3 residential district in the 4th Council District, requesting a variance from 550-39C to permit an 8-foot front yard space. Aye.
Hello. Before we begin, the board will enter following exhibits. ZHD1 will be the application packet, ZHD2 will be the notice photos, and ZHD3 proof of publication. I'll turn my microphone on. Thank you. Is there anybody present this evening for this application who is requesting party status? Okay, we're seeing none. So if you can both introduce yourself. Yes, the two of you.
Yes, my name is Diane Nguyen, Thuy Young Nguyen. We live at 59 Billy Road.
So we're going to have we're gonna have Bridget swear you both in.
Please raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And whose name is on the application? Is that,
Yeah.
your name, please?
Packery, P-A-C, P-A-C-U-R-I-E.
U-R-I-E?
Yes,
Same
same
last name?
last name.
So similar to the last application, if you can explain what you want to do and why you want to do it.
Yeah, we would like to have a fence because the unlevel of the land, some higher, some lower. So in order to have 5.5 to 6 foot, some side we have to be 8 foot. And I have young son, and he's pretty active, and we live around the main road, pretty close to the main road. We're always afraid he's gonna climb over the 4-foot fence and run out the street, so it's gonna be dangerous. We just want to have a sense of privacy when family gathering. much it. I mean,
Ừ.
well,
Nói sao?
thầy nói tại sao muốn có cái fence gì hay.
Tại vì cái gì ở đó
Thì nó
cũng
có
mẹ
con
ở
nhỏ.
con mình mẹ cũng sợ.
Yeah, just
á.
for, hả?
Mẹ ở
Làm
con
sao?
mình mẹ sợ.
Sao,
á.
làm sao?
Cho thành ra mới làm vậy thôi.
Ừ.
Có cao có thấp.
Cái-
Tại đất của mình cũng không có điều, mẹ không có biết.
ừ,
Người
không
ta
biết
làm,
gì.
cái thợ làm sao mẹ làm vậy mẹ không có
Làm
biết.
sao hỏi là tại sao mình muốn cao như thôi.
Cao cái
Yeah, we
tại mẹ
just
cũng
like to have
sợ
a
á.
private center for safety for the kid, that's all. Yeah. And she also have a couple grandchildren, they come and play in the yard all the time. And they play active as well, so we just want to keep them safe inside the fence.
Can you describe the area around the house a little bit? Like what's across the street? What's,
Across the street is the Verizon building. Billy Road here and Wachita Pike's like right in front of Billy Road.
Tiệm cà phê.
Um,
Quán cà phê.
And right across the street from us, like right in the south, there's a restaurant, I guess. Their fence pretty high up too. I believe like at least 8 feet high.
so pretty commercial?
Township Line Road on this side, Wachita Pike on the front side, turn into Bewley Road.
Cái đất của mình nó cao thấp. Nó biết
Yeah,
gì.
So would you say you border on a commercial area?
I'm sorry?
Do you is it commercial across the street?
Yes, Verizon building, yes.
And the restaurant as well on the other
Yes.
side?
And is this fence currently in place?
Yes.
And how long has it been there?
It's been about a month, I believe.
Okay.
A month or 2 or less, 2 months less.
And was there a fence there prior?
Yes.
And was it the same height or same type or?
I believe so. Pretty close, yeah. I mean, we didn't measure,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. And how long have you lived there?
Since
2 years.
since 2001,
Okay.
yes.
And so the other fence was there in place
Yes,
since that
when we
time?
bought it, yes.
Okay, so you replaced.
Yes. it's
And
replaced the
what
old
made you
fence.
go taller? Because you went taller than what was there, correct?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Okay.
For privacy, yes. Before it was a chain link fence, so
Mhm.
now it's a wood fence, yeah.
Mhm. But the height is how much difference, do you know?
The
If you had to
height, I think
guess.
before, like, 6 feet, I think, 5.5. Like I say, is not,
Yeah, nó không có
cause
điều.
5 feet here, 6
Four
feet
này,
here,
four
you
six.
know.
4 feet.
Mhm.
Like in the front of the house, lowest point, so go up and on the rear, the house like 4.5 feet is right here. When it's level, can't tell, but then when you measure, it's higher.
You have anything, Bob?
In the community that I live, there are individuals that have a similar problem. There's a hill and people going down it. But they had staggered their fencing to match that gradual decline.
Right.
That way they kept in compliance with the rule. I don't see why you couldn't do that here.
I guess we don't have enough skills. I mean, well,
Is it possible to keep a maximum height of 6 feet?
is it possible to?
To keep the height at 6 feet?
Yeah, I guess it's possible. I'm wondering, when you have the lattice, what's it called? The lattice, is it count as a height too, or?
Yeah,
Yes.
does.
Okay.
Confirm it.
That's correct.
So is the fence actually 8 feet high? Or
As of
is it-
now, it's not 8 feet high. Some spot only 6 feet, not even, only 5 and 3/4 high.
So it's 8
6
foot?
feet, 6 feet high is low point, but, and because in the front, that's where near 6 feet high. On the side, when we border with the neighbor, it's only like this high. And we would like to have like a little bit higher to have the privacy. If we raise that a little bit more, then would raise the other level as well. So that's why we asked for 8 feet to cover all around.
Oh, so you're asking
Yes.
to go as high as 8 feet?
Yes,
It
On the
hasn't been-
side?
but
It
maybe
hasn't
not
been-
even, yes.
That hasn't been constructed yet.
The lot size, no. I have not
Okay,
yet. Yeah.
okay, okay.
It-
I was a little confused.
Is the portion that will be 8 feet high, is that located in the front yard or is that on the side?
The corner front yard, not on the side. The side would be only 6. Yes.
Will the 8-foot part be along the street or is it along your neighbor's property line?
The the 8 feet would be in front with the street.
5 feet.
Along the street?
Yes. No, cái chỗ này nè.
Is there any, so it's already 6 in front of the house?
Yes, not quite 6.
Well, or 5.5, just
Yeah.
5.5 or so. But you want to increase it to 8?
Possibly, because we don't know, we just wanna, like, on the park up near the neighbor, we just wanna be higher a little bit. And when we raise that, it could raise the front. But it's gonna be a lot tight, it's not completely
not a
blocked, it's
solid.
see-through, yes.
And so if you did not, I was gonna say, if you just made it to 6 feet, but you're almost at 6 feet, would that help with the privacy? Because it's strictly a privacy issue, right?
Yes, and the safety too,
Safety for,
for the kid. Sometimes they climb up over the fence, they climb outside, you know.
but they can't get over a 6-foot fence.
No, not a
could they?
6-foot fence, no.
Right,
But
or
on the
5.5
side,
feet
yes, they can.
On the side?
Yes.
Right,
Like this part right here, they can.
okay.
Can we
Yeah,
see
can we
that
see that?
picture?
Sure.
Okay, we'll mark these pictures as A1.
So that's the side, one the side. That's only like 4 feet.
Okay, and then this is the front, right? This is the
Yes.
front? And you want to put lattice
Yes.
up to 8 feet?
On top of it.
Like that. 3.5, 2 feet.
Is the lattice only going to go between you and your neighbor, or are you going to take the lattice all the way around the whole property?
It'd be nice if it could all, it would look like.
Okay. Is this for us to keep, or?
Yeah, we'll mark this as A1.
Do you want to do an executive session?
Sure. Do you want to take public comment first?
Sorry, is there any public comment? Okay, that being said, we're going into executive session. We'll be back. Okay, so we would like to approve you for the 6-foot fence. And we will just leave it at that.
Okay.
Just to clarify, Madam Chair, the motion that you're making is to approve the variance with a limitation on the fence height at 6 feet.
Correct,
Correct.
correct. All in
Second.
favor? Aye.
I agree.
So that's the board's decision. You'll receive a written version within 45 days.
Okay, so,
Alright.
and the part where the 4 feet, can we put lot heights up to 6 feet and stop right?
6 feet is your limit.
Okay. Doesn't matter which point it is, just 6 feet.
So the rest of the interpretation is going to be on the zoning officer when it comes down to it, but your limitation from the board is 6 feet high.
Okay.
So,
All right.
right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Our next application is 1/3 of 24, Latoya.
We're missing
Boss?
Josh. I'm just going
Oh.
to suggest we pause for a second.
Okay, we're going to pause for a moment.
Just to have our zoning
Waiting for our
officer here.
zoning officer.
Hello, good evening, board members.
Can you just give us a moment? We're going to pause, waiting for our
Abs-
zoning officer.
Absolutely.
Okay. Application 1/3 of 24, Latoya Bost, 739 Westwood Lane in Alden, PA. It's an R2 residential district in the Second Council District. The application is for an appeal of the zoning officer's enforcement letter dated December 2023, alternatively for a variance for section 55039B1 to permit a front yard fence.
So before we begin, the board will enter the following exhibits. ZHB1 will be the application packet. ZHB2 will be the notice photos, and ZHB3 will be the proof of publication. Is there anybody present this evening who is requesting party status for this application? Okay. Seeing none. Sir,
Yes, I would like to identify, yes, my legal name is Latoya. I am a transgender male. I identify as Travis, Travis Boss. I am in the process of a name change. My pronouns is him and he.
we'll be happy to call you Travis if that's your preferred name.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Not a problem whatsoever, and thank you for your patience with us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So Travis, because this is an appeal of the zoning officer's enforcement letter, we're going to have the zoning officer go first.
Okay.
That's how the law dictates appeals of zoning officers' enforcement actions. So we're just going to have you pause for just a second,
Sure.
and we're going to ask the zoning officer to present the defense of the enforcement action, and then we'll go back to you to present your case.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
great. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chas?
All right.
for this particular one, let's have him sworn in, yes.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. And actually, let's have Travis sworn in as well.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Sure,
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
I do.
All right, so where to start? I guess I have two documents that I want to share with the board. And I will also show Travis first.
Yeah, I found the letter
Oh, you
too.
found letter.
Yeah.
Copy of the letter and then copy of the last permit that we issued.
Okay, great. I have that as well.
So we'll mark the copy of the letter as T1, and we'll mark the copy of the permit packet as T2. Right?
So I'd say that this is essentially a miscommunication. You have to start with a mistake that I made with the neighboring property. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on that because it's not necessarily this property, but the neighboring property was mistakenly issued a permit allowing them to build a front yard fence that was a little bit too far into their front yard, which matches the existing fence, which matches Travis's existing fence. So moving away from that, after speaking together, I made it clear that any fence that was put up was not to be matching that fence or was not to be in the front yard. And this is where we had a misunderstanding of the definition of front yard. Not to speak for you, but I'm using the definition of front yard as in, as from the code of a yard extending the full width of the lot along the street line and not less in depth than the minimum required in each district measured to the building line. So essentially, everything from the street parallel to the front of the house. That is considered the front yard according to the code. So when we issued the permit, so if you go out, look at your permit, I specifically wrote on the permit that the fence was not to be in the front yard.
Is that the notation in red?
It's not in red, it should be in blue.
I have a better copy if they want to.
Okay. Anyway, but it's just note on the bottom, it states note fence cannot extend to the front yard. Is that what you're referencing?
Can I
That's
see?
a permit application.
Can I see what you're? Specifically?
The digital copy.
That's what Dan wrote.
Okay.
You scroll down.
Here.
Yeah, that too. And then once more on.
Okay.
So again, I don't think it's an issue of not understanding, right, that it's on the front yard. It's definition of, where is the front yard, right? And I think that was where we kind of got lost in translation. I also found the plans to be a little bit ambiguous. If you look at the site plan, the fence isn't shown as going further than the house. There is no front of the house shown. If that makes sense to the board.
So is the fence at issue here the fence that runs along the side property line?
That's correct. It runs just too far in front of the house. It runs probably 10, 15 feet, 10 feet? I don't know what you think.
I'm not really.
Something like that. Nothing crazy. But it runs too far. It doesn't curve and it doesn't go parallel to the street at all. But, so once, we found out that the fence was, we issued the permit, the fence was built, we saw that the fence was built incorrectly, so we sent the violation notice, and I think that's dated 12/7.
So on the permit, or I guess the JNP fencing form
Mhm.
that you noted the notation, no fence in the front yard. what was your understanding of what side was the front of the house on that form?
My understanding that the front of the house was cut off, but it was, I guess it would be the bottom of the paper, if that makes sense.
Travis, do you have,
That's all. Yeah, that's all I
I'm
have.
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. That's pretty much.
So your statement is essentially, the permit came in, it was indicated that I guess you're saying in multiple spots on the permit forms and submitted information that the fence was not to be constructed within the front yard,
Mhm.
and then the fence was constructed in the front yard, and you issued an enforcement letter.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we have, I don't know if this is the time to talk about the variance, but we have no issue. Okay. I can wait.
Go ahead.
No, we have no issue with the variance. No issue with the fence itself. I think it's understandable what happened, right? Seeing the neighbor's fence where it is. But we did want to defend the appeal because we think we are on solid ground.
Travis, do you, at this point, before you put on your own case, do you have any questions for Josh about the enforcement letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would ask respectfully this board member to void the enforcement letter.
So
and
I'm just going to
decision.
ask you to make sure you're close to the microphone
Sure.
because with the mask, it is.
Probably so, but yes, I would ask this. Can you hear me okay? Oh, sure, yes. Yeah, with the understanding and the admittance of the zoning enforcement officer in regards to the miscommunication, I actually have the original approval drawing where he actually Xed out. If you look at the drawing, it clearly says side fence backyard, and it goes into the front. The first approval letter is here from Mr. Joshua Chast, where he actually put an X there for the front. I have spoken to him verbally over the phone. He was at in Scranton, PA, at a meeting. He said that he would drive by the property on the 19th, on a Thursday, to come and take a look at the property. We discussed this. And he asked me, and I told him exactly where the fence was going to be going on the side of my home. He said, well, it can be in the front of the house, 10 feet from the front door. I said, it's not in the front door, it's at my side door, and it's going to be going from the front 6 feet to 4 feet in the front of the home. And he approved that. And then I asked him, could you please send the revised copy, which he added the front fence back on. If you see in that copy, I have a colored copy for you to see, and I also have the first one as well, if I could bring that up.
Absolutely. And these are for us to keep? Okay. Okay, hold on. I have to have you give your statements from the microphone. So we'll mark this first packet as A1. This is the initial issuance, and then we'll mark the revised one as A2. Okay. Do you have pictures too? Gotcha. We'll mark the pictures as A3. So if you want to go back to the microphone and give your statements, and that's only because we do stream the meetings for the public and they need to hear you.
Sure.
So there was the initial issuance and then a revised approval?
Yes, putting the line back in the front.
Yes. Let's make sure we keep the stacks separate. So Travis, I have to ask, I note that you, I guess what you're referencing here between the original and the revised is the X on the picture that was whited out.
Yes, and after our conversation.
Okay. So even on the original copy, or that you're representing is the original, those notations of fence cannot extend into the front yard, fences cannot extend into the front yard, and even with the X, no fence in the front yard. What was your understanding of L&I's direction of no fences in the front yard?
We discussed it, and he said, he made it clear that it cannot be a front yard fence 10 feet from the front door. And I said, well, it's not gonna be in in the front of the house. I don't want to put a fence up in front of my house. It's gonna be at the side door, it's a side fence. So that was my understanding. He sent me an email to proceed with the revised and building.
So your understanding was a front yard fence meant a fence?
Front yard, yes, in the front of the yard, correct.
In front of the house?
10 feet from the front door, right, what he said to me, correct.
Doing this a little more informally, I know you mentioned the Bavarians. What's the purpose of the side yard fence?
For privacy issues, as me being a trans man, and like keeping out my neighbors' little pooches. I'm a fur baby lover, but Chico and Mama, they used to coming over to that bush and doing their business. I come out, there's little poops, and I just, like it for the privacy and safety for my 13-year-old daughter. Not just that, my little nieces and nephews that come and play as well. In regards to, the situation with my neighbor as well. I do have those docket numbers from the police. I had my property surveyed on the 18th of May by Baron Gelly. I have that survey here where my neighbor called the cops and attacked my surveyor over at Baron Gully. And they told him that I had a right to get it, my property surveyed. He thought that he owned more of the land that he didn't, so he came out when he was placing a stake, which on the lawn where he thought was his property, and came at the surveyor when he placed the stakes to survey my property. So that's been like an ongoing issue in regards to my neighbor, and he's licensed to carry. He's placed many threats, just to have that privacy and safety for me and my family. Not just that, my mother's health condition, I did reach out to Joshua. My mother was just in ICU. She just had a hemorrhagic stroke, a brain bleed, was in the hospital over a month. I had sent that to him in this email in regards to her being hospitalized over a month, and that also helps with her as well to get into the sideway where she can feel, because she's blind and she's deaf in the left ear, and this is a guidance for her to get into the side of the property. So it helps with the boundaries of the property line, and it actually looks really beautiful. My neighbors like it. They have came over, they complimented the property, and they didn't really understand the post that was on my property, and they couldn't understand it.
Are there board questions for either Josh or Travis?
Travis, I have questions around your interpretation of when the officer refers to the front yard. I guess only because I see it noted the fence could not be on the front yard. I just wanted to understand your interpretation.
My interpretation, again, like I said, in regards to the conversation that me and Mr. Chaz had, was that it could not be in the front yard. I mean, I spent almost over $2,000. Matter of fact, it was over $2,000 because I have the receipt here from Home Depot. It was actually over $2,000 in work with the materials that I purchased to get this fence done. So I had to make sure that I was going to follow all zoning and everything in order to move forward. And I did that with the materials, you know, with the conversation that me and Mr. Chas had in regards to a front yard fence. And I believe in that a front yard fence is the fence that, like he said, front door. And I specifically said, I'm going on my side door. You know, he did not reference anything different in regards to, you know, that's considered a front yard. And I have other neighbors, both sides of me, have the same lip yard, even down the street, not just the one closest to me, but one on the other side as well. I sent, you know, Mr. Chas those pictures as well of all my neighbors with the same lip yard fence. And I didn't consider it to be a front yard, all in regards to that, because I'm quite sure they have permits as well, and they were approved. So that was my understanding, is I could not have a front yard fence. And I also spoke to my neighbors across the street, Bob and Kathy, who's been there since 1953. They truly adore the fence, and they said the same thing. They want to get a fence as well. And they said, well, this isn't considered, because they seen the posts on my house. So they asked me what was that in regards to, and I told them, they said that this is a front yard fence. And he said, what, a front yard fence? He said, no, that's not a front yard fence. So, I mean, but this is the zoning regulations, and that was my understanding of a front yard fence.
I can understand how maybe there might have been some confusion, but I'm thinking, when you look at your house, you look at, there's the backyard
Mm-hmm.
and there's a front yard. You have a fence on your backyard and a fence on your front yard.
Oh,
And the notations say,
well,
no front yard fence.
Okay.
And then I wonder, did you look at the code to see the description of what the front yard
no.
included?
No, I did not see that. There was a link sent, but I could not activate that link. It was just expressed to me and explained to me when I spoke with Mr. Chas, and that's the understanding that I got from it. With no disrespect, I did not, you know, think, you know, that, you know, what I did was wrong. I thought that I was following the law, and unfortunately, we're here today.
And did I also hear, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, did you say you did mention not to have the front yard fence like the neighbor?
I did say that.
Okay.
I don't recall him saying that at all. My understanding is that he was going to come to the property and see the property. I don't remember that being said verbally, and he did not put it in the letter. I did not see him put that in the letter after our conversation, and the letter was received after that conversation. So if that was something that I may, you know, I didn't hear him say that. I don't recall him ever saying that, no.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
I do have one quick question for you.
Sure.
How long is that last panel that you have?
They're all 4 feet. The one in the front is 4 feet, 8, 4 by 8.
4 by 8, so
Correct.
4 foot high, 8 foot wide.
Correct, yes.
So it's 8 foot
Long,
the length, running length of it.
Correct,
Is 8
yes.
foot for that one panel alone.
and if you see, it doesn't even exceed the whole lawn in the front.
I think we'll note for the record, just so it's clear, that fence regulations in the township have changed in recent years.
That's correct.
So even though the zoning officer has acknowledged that the directly abutting neighbor was a enforcement issue to begin with as well, other fences in the neighborhood might have been installed prior to the township's prohibition on front yard fences.
So the neighbor, yeah, but the neighbors was not necessarily an enforcement issue, but an issue, a mistake, yeah,
Yep.
from the township. And we
I just
accept
would-
that, and they'll be here at some point to do the same thing.
I just wanted to note that the fence regulations for your other neighbors may have been installed prior to the prohibition on front yard fences being in effect. Are there any other board questions? Madam Chair, would you like to take public comment?
Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay. We'd like to pause for an executive session. We'll be right back.
Make copies.
Water, did you say?
One question, and then we'll let you provide closing statements. So, Josh, we have one question about something you mentioned related to the existing fence. Has the abutting neighbor with the other fence also been issued an enforcement action?
Yeah, so their inspection was failed. And they are coming in, I believe, in February.
So they also received an enforcement action that the fence can't be in the front yard, and they have submitted an application.
I don't know if we sent them a physical letter, but we said that, we communicated to them that their fence was in violation as soon as it went up. And we've been working with them to get them in to the zoning hearing board. And they've committed to coming.
So at this point, unless there's any follow-up questions from the board, we'll let both parties provide closing arguments. And we'll start with the township.
Yeah, so from, my perspective, or from the township's perspective, we have no issue with the fence. In some cases, good fences, right, make good neighbors. There's plenty of other fences like it. But we just asked, right, that you uphold our letter, because, that is what we meant. That's what we meant by our definition of the front lawn. We think that matches the code accurately. But other than that, again, no issues with the fence, at all.
Travis, would you like to provide a final statement?
Yes, thank you, board members. I thank y'all for your time this evening. In my closing statement, I ask that you uphold my appeal and void the zoning inspector's letter and decision in regards to the violation of the fencing, all because of the communication, that we spoke about in regards to him coming out. He never came out. We spoke in regards to where the front was. I made it clear to Mr. Joshua in regards to where the fence was going to go. And I asked, for the fence to remain in regards to my privacy, the safety of my children, and for my mother's condition, her having 30 strokes, and her last one being a hemorrhagic stroke, August the 8th, and being on a ventilator, in regards to guiding her into the home safely. And that would be my closing argument. Thank y'all for your time this evening.
Thank you. Is the board ready to render a decision?
Yes.
We would like to make a motion to deny the appeal and the variance.
And the variance?
Two votes.
I'm sorry.
So first,
So
we should take a
first,
motion
let
on
me-
the appeal.
Let me retract that. First, I want to make a motion to deny the appeal. Did I get a second?
Got a second?
All in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
Aye. And we would like to make a motion to deny the variance as well. All in favor? Can I get a second? I'm sorry.
Got a second?
All in favor? Aye.
So Travis, you'll receive a copy or the board's written decision within 45 days of tonight.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next application is 1/4 of 24 Victor Andrade, 47 Brandon Road, Upper Darby, PA. It's an R3 residential district, 7th Council District. A variance from section 558A to permit an Airbnb within a multifamily apartment.
ZHB1 will be the application packet, ZHB2 will be the notice photos, and ZHB3 will be proof of publication. Is there anyone present this evening who is requesting party status for this application? All right, seeing none. Mr. Andrade
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Victor Andre.
and the other person with you?
He's my lawyer, actually.
Are you representing Mr. Andrade tonight?
Yes, I'm representing him in this matter, yes.
Okay, can you introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, I'm Attorney Christopher Bagnotto, Attorney ID 308101 from Jensen Bagnotto Law Firm.
Do you happen to have a card, Mr. Bagnotto?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I don't know. Thank you. All right, Mr. Bagnotto, we'll have you proceed with your case.
Okay. Would you just tell them why you would like to have an Airbnb?
Yes, please.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
How about you start off telling them where the property is and what this property is?
All right. Actually, I get the property 47 Brandon Road,
Speaking to them.
like 2 years ago. And then I fixed up everything and I ended up like put it like Airbnb because I want to keep like a very nice house, all my neighbor, like,
Is it completely fixed up?
yes, that's everything inside is fixed.
How large is the apartment?
The largest like three apartments building.
3-apartment building.
Yes.
And how many bedrooms are in each apartment?
They have like five bedrooms, the full bedrooms.
5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms in each
Yes.
apartment?
Yes, and
So times that by 3?
no. Actually, there's like 5 bedrooms altogether in the whole house.
Okay, so there's 5 bedrooms altogether. Okay. And where is it located again?
47 Brandon Road.
Do you have tenants in there right now?
Right now, no, actually.
Why, have you looked into doing an Airbnb here? Upper Darby?
I hear voices like there is like no legal, but I'm trying to do like a legal way.
Okay. Did you receive any type of citation or anything?
No,
No?
actually, no.
So you're just requesting of the board to allow you to
Yes.
do an Airbnb?
Yeah.
Are you aware of any other Airbnbs in that area?
No.
Are you aware of any other homes or apartments in that area that allow renters to come into their property?
No.
No? Okay. Do you have any questions from the board? Are there any questions from the board, I mean?
I do.
I wanted to know, so you're aware that you're not aware of any other Airbnbs or people with apartments renting or subleasing in your area, correct? I think that's what you just said.
No.
You don't think that is there any people that are renting out to other people in the neighborhood that you live in?
No.
Or where this property is?
No.
Not that you know?
No.
That's what she asked.
And what is your primary reason for wanting to rent it out
It's private.
as
residence.
Airbnb?
Yeah, what is your primary reason that you would like to rent it out as an Airbnb? Or on Airbnb?
I want to keep it like a
I can't hear him.
Yeah, speak closer to the microphone. What did you say?
No, I say I can explain to you, but it just ended up like in the beginning, just put an Airbnb instead to the renter.
Can you say that again? Can you speak closer to the microphone, please?
Come closer to the microphone and just say what you said.
I want to keep it nice and clean, like the house, like all around my neighbors. That's it.
Do you feel like you have more control if you have Airbnb?
Yes.
Okay, because then if you rent it out just on a yearly lease or a monthly lease, then someone else is in there for a longer period of time.
Yeah, the people must like rent and then destroy everything inside. That's why I keep it nice and clean. That's all.
So if you do Airbnb, you'll have people there for a lesser period of time. You can get
Exactly.
in there quicker and fix it up or
Yeah.
make sure that it stays in, like a
Okay.
hotel,
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to do, but I don't.
Do you have any intention to stay in this building?
Sorry, ¿qué dice?
Do you have any intention to stay in this building or live there in this building?
Just for the daytime, you know, just keep like maintenance or whatever.
He just wanted to, he said he just to keep it up during the day, but you don't want to live there. You don't
No,
want
no,
to
no,
sleep there
no,
yourself.
I don't want to live.
You have your own home, right?
Yes,
So this is a purely investment property? Is
yeah,
this not? Okay.
mhm.
When did you purchase this property?
Like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yes,
And you spent the past 2 years fixing it up?
yeah.
Have you ever rented it out?
No, no, yet, because I still I have like a permits coming in and I'm waiting for the last permit to the fire alarm system.
Oh, for the alarm system?
Yes,
Okay. So
mhm.
you're still doing everything right with the
Yeah,
permits?
uh-huh.
Okay.
You said there were 5 bedrooms in the house, correct? Is it all one unit? Or is it
No, no,
3
It's
units?
the whole house, that's the 3 apartments building, plus the basement is finished.
Are you renting out all 3 units on Airbnb, or are you,
Just 2. Just one apartment I want to put for rent, but the rest I want to put the Airbnb.
you want to rent one out in a traditional manner, and then the other 2 you want to rent on Airbnb?
Yes, sir.
Airbnb has I'll call it a less than stellar reputation with regards to the fact that their properties many times can be rented out in total. And as a result, parties are given in those buildings. How do you plan to control that and protect the neighbors from being over inundated by partygoers if that would, Airbnb comes in there?
You understand the question?
Uh,
You wanted to
See.
know how you would, make sure that there's no parties or
Mhm.
anything like that to bother the neighbors, because Airbnb has had in other locations unstellar reputations of that. How could you protect it so there'll be no parties?
Yes, that's what I'm here, because I want to know if you give me a permit or no. That's what I'm expect to. If I'm trying to do like a legal thing.
So, so yeah, you would have a permit and everything, so how would you make sure in police, basically, that there's no problems there? You want to put cameras there?
Actually, yes, because everything is hooked up, so now
Do you have a security system?
the alarm system and everything, the secure system is coming up, yeah.
Is
Just
the security
talking.
system gonna have a camera on the outside?
No, I'm talking to the company.
Where you could get a security system with cameras on the
Yes,
outside,
uh-huh.
so you can watch and see if there's any parties,
Yes,
and then you could call the police and have it stopped, right?
yes.
Okay. And obviously, if the neighbor has any issues, they could call you. You would
Yeah,
talk to
everybody
all the
can,
neighbors.
yeah.
Do you know the neighbors?
Yeah, I know the neighbors.
Okay. You know all the neighbors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question for the zoning officer. This is an R3 property?
Yes,
Is this an existing multifamily building?
yes.
So this isn't, the 3 units is not new?
No, not as part of this application.
So
I
it's
believe
either
you might
existing
have-
non-conforming or has previous relief?
Yeah, it might have previous relief, but it's one of the other.
Is the property parking compliant? How many parking spaces are on the property?
I did the application for the at least like it for 3 cars.
The 4 cars are able to park there?
Yes.
Does it have a driveway?
Yeah, that's where I put the driveway more like a bigger. I take the permits to the township and everything is like a,
So you
Legal.
already got permits to have an increased driveway?
yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
'cause I remember you coming in for that.
So what's the 3 units? I know there's 5 bedrooms. Is it 2-2-1? Is that what we're looking at? 2 bedrooms, and 1 bedroom? Is that how it's divided?
There is 2 bedrooms and 1 apartment. The 3 bedroom apartment is 2 bedrooms.
So there's only 4 bedrooms?
So does the basement have a bedroom? Okay, there we go. So that could be considered the fifth bedroom?
But which is there's or is there a 3-bedroom unit and then 2 1-bedroom units, or are there 2 2-bedroom units and a 1-bedroom unit?
There is 1, 2, 3 bedrooms.
So
The other 2 units is 2 bedrooms, but the 2 bathrooms, 1 bathroom each one.
1 bedroom each one, 2 bathrooms. So we need five parking spaces.
Let me just look really quickly to see if there was some type of variance.
We don't have a site plan.
You don't have a site plan?
No.
Okay, yeah, give that to them. I don't know why I have it, but you don't.
Well, Mark, this is in the township file then, Josh?
Just give me 1 second.
This is in the township file?
I have, that's fine, you can keep it.
We'll mark it as the HB4.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm seeing 4 bedrooms on the first floor, a 5th bedroom on the second floor, and an additional 2 bedrooms on the third floor?
Yes, sir.
So that's 7 bedrooms.
7 altogether.
2 2-bedroom units and 1 3-bedroom unit, plus the basement.
So. So in 2007, it looks like it was an existing triplex. Because then they got zoning to be a quad, which was denied, but they called it an existing non-conforming triplex.
Okay.
In 2007.
I have some questions looking at the site plan here. So it looks like it says the roof, so maybe that's the top floor, does not have a kitchen.
But I think it's part of the second floor unit,
Is it?
but the applicant can confirm that.
Can you tell me about, I'm looking at the roof site plan, and it has 2 bedrooms there and a bath and a hallway. Does that unit have its own entrance and a kitchen?
Yeah, the first thing was like in the left side, there was like just a little bit like hallway. And then you can see the apartments in the first apartment in the left side. This is number 2. In the right side is another apartment, number 1. They have like 1 full bathroom and 2 bedrooms.
So there's, on the first floor, on one side of the first floor, there's a 2-bedroom apartment. On the other side of the first floor, there's a 2-bedroom apartment. And then the second and third floors combine to 1 3-bedroom apartment.
Yes, sir, yeah.
I have no more questions. Is there any public comment?
Does anyone else wish to speak on behalf of this? No? Okay.
Okay, we're going to go into session. We'll be right back. We would like to make a motion to deny the variance.
I second
All-
that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You'll receive a written decision within 45 days.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Case, I'm sorry, application 1-5 of 24, Jimmy Orlando, Damian Pacheco, 7125 Marshall Road, Upper Darby, PA. It's a C1 Commercial District, 7th Council District. Requesting a variance from 558A, Table 3-1, Notes 2, to permit a barber shop that is located within 300 feet of another barber shop.
All right,
Okay,
Before
go ahead.
before we begin, the board will enter the following exhibits. ZHB 1 will be the application packet. ZHB 2 will be the notice photos, and ZHB 3 will be the proof of publication. Sir, your name?
Good evening. My name is David Chandler, and I'm co-counsel for the applicant. The other counsel is in back of me, Helen Beck, B-A-I-K, and we both represent Mr. Damian.
And so you co-counsel, so the contact information we have for Ms. Back is sufficient, or do you want to provide us with your card as well?
Yes, I have my card, and also I have a form to request party status. So,
You're on behalf of the applicant?
pardon me?
You're on behalf of the applicant?
Yes, we're both on behalf of
Okay,
the
then-
applicant.
You are the party.
Right,
But
right.
I just need your contact information.
Sure. If I may approach, I have copies of additional exhibits.
Just one second. I believe there is a request for party status as well.
Yes, I
So-
represent Angelico Gonzalez. She owns a business right across the street,
What's the address of the business?
7164, it's called Angie's Barber Shop.
7164 Marshall. Yeah, makes sense. Sir, do you have any questions for Mr. Bagnato about party status being granted to Ms. Gonzalez in this matter?
No.
Then we'll grant party status. So, just like a trial, he'll be able to cross-examine all your witnesses and everything.
Sure.
Sure. If you want to begin with any opening statement, or if you have an exhibit packet, as long as you
Yes,
provide one
I
to
do
Mr.
have
Bagnato.
exhibit packets, if I may approach.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
D. Chandler. Okay.
What? Yeah. All right.
So we'll note for the record that a application packet has been provided by the applicant, pre-marked as A1 through A18.
Yes. If I could go quickly through the exhibits, if you would like me to do that.
Has a copy been given to,
No, I have an extra one. He could,
thank you. Mr. Bagnato, if you want to take a quick look and let us know if there's any objections. I know we're doing this on the fly. Rather innocuous.
No objection.
Sure. If I could briefly go through the exhibits. Exhibits A1 through A9 are photographs taken on Wednesday, January 10th, which is when the zoning posters were posted. And as you could see, they're posted on three sides of the store, on the Marshall Road side and the Copley Road side, and in the front door. And they've been up since then for more than 2 weeks. And A10 is the signed lease agreement, and A11 is a letter from the property owner authorizing Mr. Damian to open a barbershop at that location. A12 is a sketch of the interior shop drawn by Mr. Damian. As you can see, there are 3 chairs in which for customers. A13 is a copy of the application. And then A14, 15, 16, and 17 are photos that were taken on Sunday, the 21st. As you see, there's snow on the ground, and it shows that the zoning posters are still up there. And also, A14 shows a photo of an AutoZone business located to the east of the barber shop on Copley Road. And according to Mr. Damian, the owner said that he would allow customers of the barber shop to park there, so there wouldn't be a lot of parking congestion. And finally, we have a memo of law as A18. Basically, it's our position that the zoning code, zoning laws do not prevent the barbershop from opening, despite the fact that another shop or hair salon is located within 300 feet of the applicant's proposed shop. I do have some questions I can ask Mr. Damian.
Before we get to that, just as an issue of law, I saw your memorandum here. Are you appealing there was the interpretation of the zoning officer that a variance was required?
No, we're not appealing that. We would just need the variance to open the shop.
Okay, because your fact memorandum or memo of law indicates that there is no prohibition on opening a barber shop within 300 feet of a barber shop. That is the premise of the memorandum, correct?
Right, that is correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but the ruling of the zoning officer is that you are not permitted to open a barber shop within 300 feet of a barber shop.
Well, actually, according to the memo of law, we are permitted. So maybe I could retract my earlier statement in saying that we do challenge the authority of the township to prohibit the opening of the barber shop.
I'll just note for the record on the board's behalf that on Table 3.1, the table of permitted uses of the Upper Darby zoning ordinance, notes in Note 2, which is annotated on several uses, several commercial uses, that those uses cannot operate, are only permitted if no barbershop, beauty salon, or nail salon is located within a 300-foot distance from such use. So we're just going to put that as a base issue on the record. But I'll let you proceed with your witnesses.
Okay. Now, Mr. Damian, his primary language is Spanish, so with your permission, Ms. Beck, who is fluent in Spanish, could translate for him. Would that be okay?
Sure, we'll have her sworn in as well as your witness as a translator. If you can swear in the witness, I'll swear in the translator.
Can you raise your hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I guess we'll have you translate that just in case he didn't understand. But Ms. Beck, if you can also,
Just saying a little bit,
Okay.
not 100% speak
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification. But Ms. Beck, if you can raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the translation you will provide to the zoning hearing board will be true and accurate to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You can proceed, Mr. Chandler.
Okay. Mr. Damian, where do you live?
200 Bridge Street, Drexel Hill.
Oh,
So the thing about it is, if you're gonna translate for him, can you just answer everything, even if it's?
I think what he's gonna be able to speak in English, I guess,
Well, that's gonna be really difficult.
okay,
So,
got it. So you have to speak a little slowly. ¿Dónde vives?
No, 200 Bridge Street, Drexel Hill.
¿Qué?
Bridge Street,
¿Cuál es el número?
200 Bridge Street.
200 Bridge Street,
and,
Drexel Hill, PA.
okay. And did you file an application for a zoning variance for 7125 Marshall Road in Upper Darby Township?
Pusiste una aplicación ¿cómo es? Para tener the variance, la propiedad que está ubicado 7200, what's the address?
7125 Marshall Road.
Okay, 7125 Marshall Road. So, está aplicando ahora.
Sí, está aplicado, está aplicado.
Yes, I already.
Okay. And do you plan to open a barber shop there?
Quiere abrir un barbershop.
Sí.
Yes.
And are you a barber?
Eres un cortas el pelo para hombre.
Sí.
Yes.
And how many years have you been a barber?
¿Cuántos tiempos que estaban cortando el pelo?
I had experience.
Yes.
I had 22 years.
22 años. No, 22 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you rent the property?
¿Está rentando la propiedad?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you own any other barber shops in the area?
¿Tienes otras peluquería en este lugar, en otra zona de ciudad?
Sí.
Yes.
And how many barber shops other barber shops do you own?
¿Cuántos más peluqueros que lo que tiene ahora?
3.
3.
And where are they located?
¿Dónde está ubicado?
The first one, 6794 Market Street.
6794 Market Street.
Is that in Upper Darby?
Yes.
Okay.
This is in Upper Darby.
Sí. Second one, 6505 Market Street. Suite
Second one is a
6505.
6505 Market Street
And that's also Upper Darby?
in
Milburn.
Okay.
Upper Darby.
Milburn.
Milburn.
Oh, Milburn. Okay.
Close to Upper Darby.
Okay. And what's the third shop?
¿Cuál es el tercero?
116 Westchester Pike,
16 in Westchester Pike,
Havertown.
Havertown. Yeah.
Okay. How long have you owned those businesses for?
¿Cuánto tiempo que estaba teniendo esa peluquería?
The first one, 5 years.
Primero, 5 years. First one is 5 years.
Second one, 2 years.
The second one is 2 years.
The 3, 1 year.
Third one is 1 year.
Okay. And have the zoning posters been posted on the building since January 10th?
Estaba la noticia del zoning poster que estaba ubicado desde el 10 de enero.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And have you reached an agreement with the owner of the auto shop across the street about parking for your customers?
Tenía un acuerdo con el dueño al lado cruzando la calle de su peluquería por parqueadero como está usando su futuro clientes.
Con el manager, no dueño. Manager.
Sí, I made an agreement with the manager.
Okay. And
It's my friend.
will there be 3 chairs in the barber shop?
Va a
tres chairs,
Sí,
tres sillas.
a futuro, pero voy a comenzar con uno.
Okay, right now it is a three, however, I am going to start with the one, and maybe on the future, I will be able to use all three of them.
Okay. And did you plan to work at this barber shop?
Usted va a trabajar en ese zona, en ese sitio.
Sí.
Yes.
And if you need to, will you hire more barbers?
Si necesita más peluqueros, entonces vas a emplear más peluqueros.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And what will the hours be at the shop?
¿Cuál es el horario del peluquero?
De 10 a 8. 10 to 8.
10 to 8, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. How many days a week would that be?
4 días de semana. 6 days.
Okay. You have anything else to say?
¿Quiere hablar algo más?
No, está bien. No sé.
Okay. Oh, by the way, after Mr. Damian's testimony, we do have some supporters of his that they would like to chime in.
We'll give them the opportunity during public comment.
Sure.
Unless you're calling them as witnesses.
No, just a public comment.
So at this point, if you're done with testimony, right now, we'll give Mr. Bignato the opportunity to ask some questions.
Sure.
Josh, do you want him in a microphone? So, Mr. Bagnato, if you can actually sit at the first chair and use the microphone there so that we can pick it up. Just make sure it's tapped on.
Yes. Testing? Good, okay, thank you. Okay, can you hear me?
¿Puede oír?
Sí.
Okay. ¿Puedes oír ahora?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. This is the barber shop that you're trying to open up, is that correct?
Eso es, okay, yes.
Yes, okay. It's already fixed up and ready to go?
¿Todo está arreglado bien? Yes.
Okay. Did you get permits to fix it up?
¿Tuvo permiso? ¿Sacaste tu permiso para
La
todo?
barbería, sí.
Yes.
Isn't it true you didn't get permits when you fixed it up?
No tendré que sacar para, como es, para arreglarlo a permiso. Que tiene que sacar permiso para arreglar eso.
Yo saqué permiso de la barbería primero, pero no saqué del township hasta que ahora ya apliqué.
Yeah, he did get all the permit, and then he applied for the zoning later on.
Okay. Do you know my client, Angelica Gonzalez?
She's my ex-boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so, okay, so you know her, right?
she.
I know,
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know why you asking that.
because I have to ask you a question.
Why you asking that?
No,
Listen,
I guess
sir,
right now
hold
he's
on.
gonna.
Wait. So he has to ask you questions because we're making a record.
Okay.
So whether you and your attorneys and Ms. Gonzalez and her attorneys all know that you know each other, we don't. So he has to ask those questions so that we know. So just, everybody needs to speak one at a time and clearly and loudly so that the court reporter can get everything down. All right?
Okay. So yeah, just for the record,
So can you repeat your question?
I think it'll be easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know my client, Angela Gonzalez?
Usted conoce a mi cliente Angelina González?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. In fact, you used to work for her, is that not correct?
Usted estaba trabajando para ella, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
You worked for her 12 years or so, is that correct?
Estaba trabajando para ella como 12 años, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
And in fact, she was the one that actually gave you your barber license, is that correct?
Ella fue la persona que lo que dio,
Me dio la licencia, no.
No,
No.
no, she is not the one who gave me the license.
No. She sponsored you she sponsored you so you can get a barber license. Isn't that correct?
No,
No? Okay.
correcto. No, no me
That's
lo
your
dio.
answer.
No me lo dio.
Doesn't she have like the manager license that she can actually sponsor other barbers?
Sí, ella tiene pruebas que me lo compré porque yo tengo la licencia
No,
de
okay,
Pensilvania nueva recién de 6 meses.
okay, you have to repeat your answer. What did you say?
Que mi licencia está recién de Pensilvania 6 meses.
Okay.
Porque yo tenía la de Nueva York.
Okay, he just had his barber license in Pennsylvania for 6 months before he had the New York license.
Okay. And you're aware that you opened up your barber shop literally across the street from my client's barber shop, right?
Ahora está abriendo peluquero al frente, como es al frente del salón de ella.
No es al frente.
No es exactamente al frente.
Okay.
No
En
es.
inglés. En
Oh,
inglés. En inglés. En inglés.
what did I? Oh my. Okay.
Not
No,
exactly
it's
in
not.
the front. That's what
Yeah,
you said.
that's not exactly across. Yeah.
Lots of bilingual people here.
No, that's what I did sometimes in school. too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So, all right, so you are aware that your property, your barber shop is less than 300 feet from my client's property, store.
Está, así que entendés
Sí, que está 300 pies.
sí, eso es correcto.
Okay. Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. That's,
This is,
yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
okay, so, su peluquería está ubicado, no, wait a minute, is that, no. Your store is located within 300 feet of my client's. That's what he asked. His answer was
Yes.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, isn't it true that you, after having relationships for the past 12 years with the clients, you want to maintain the clients that you had when you were working with my client? Isn't that correct?
Can you repeat that question?
Yes. You worked for my client, I'll break it down a little
Yeah,
easier.
okay.
You worked for my client roughly 12 years. Is that correct?
Trabajaste con mi cliente
Sí.
como 12 años.
Sí.
Yes.
During that time, you got to meet a lot of her clientele.
Durante ese tiempo, así que conociste bastante como ese cliente de ella.
Yeah.
¿Está correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
No
You got to know those clientele quite well, right?
Solo conoces esos clientes bien, ¿no?
Son mis clientes, no de ella.
It is my client, it's not her, is my client, not her client.
Okay, so it would be, of course, beneficial for you to open a store right next to the same location where those clients were, correct?
So ahora se va a beneficiar más que está abriendo una tienda que es cerca de ella.
Y lo estoy abriendo porque la comunidad me pide, porque hay muchos que no tienen carros y quieren caminar y les gustan cortes de barberos, no de mujeres.
Bueno, ahora, no, I am opening up the barber shop. It's not because I would like to take her client. It's because the community in the area, they asked me to open the barber shop, and they do not have the car, and her is unisex. However, mine is only the men. So a lot of people ask me to open the barber shop, and it will be within walking distances. That's the only reason that I'm opening up the store.
You have another barber shop in Upper Darby, isn't that correct?
Tiene otro peluquero en Upper Darby, ¿correcto? Yes.
Did you advise this clientele of that barber shop?
Did what, sir?
Did you tell the clientele about that barber shop in Upper Darby, the other one?
Hablaste a los clientes de ustedes que vas a abrir en ese local,
Sí, local, sí.
en ese local?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you try to find another location that was past 300 feet from my client's barber shop?
Estaba buscando, bueno, tratar de buscar uno es un poco más lejos de ella, la cliente de ella.
Sí, traté de buscar más, pero como me salió la oportunidad del que me rentó con opción a compra de la casa hace un año.
Yes, I was trying to look for that. However, this time the opportunity came. Once I do well about a year, and then I will get an option to purchase the building. So that's the reason that I chose this building to rent.
Did you also open this barber shop to basically bother my client, knowing that this could frustrate her business?
Está abriendo peluquero que para molestar para molestar el business de ella.
Yo no tengo por qué molestar a nadie.
I don't want you to bother anybody.
You're aware that my client has a barber shop for more than 23 years open, are you not?
Lo conoces que no. Do you know that? No. Lo conoces, yeah. Lo conoces que ella ella estaba trabajando como más de 22 años cortando el pelo.
Sí.
Yes.
If the board member today denies your variance, would you be able to find another location past the 300 feet?
Si hoy los miembros del board se lo niegan, entonces que se puede buscar algún lugares, otros lugares que se puede buscarlo.
Voy a seguir continuando con la lucha porque voy a perder mucho dinero.
Se va a costar bastante. No, it is going to cost me a lot of money. I'd like to stay with here.
Porque yo estoy poniendo, no es por molestar a nadie, sino porque quiero comprar la casa.
My intention is not to compete with her business. It just wanted to buy the building, and because that was the option, that was one of the conditions that was given to me by the building owner. The option to purchase.
What was it? I didn't follow that. What was a condition?
The rent plus option to purchase.
What does that have to do with
So that you
finding
can.
another location that's not within 300 feet of an existing barber shop?
I don't understand your question, sir.
So the issue at hand here tonight, and I understand there's a business disagreement here, competition disagreement. But the issue at hand here is our code does not permit one barber shop to be located within 300 feet of another barber shop or a nail salon or a beauty salon. So the most recent question I think I heard is, could you have found another location? And the answer was, I bought the building because the property owner gave me the option of.
Yeah, I rented the space.
But why there? I don't think we've gotten the answer to that question.
Okay.
Does it have to be across the street from this other barber shop, or is there another possible location for your business to operate?
Porque el dueño de la casa es mi mejor amigo, por eso él me lo está vendiendo.
¿Cómo?
El dueño de la casa es mi mejor amigo, por eso él me lo está
Amigo,
vendiendo.
amigo.
Sí.
Okay. Well, but the thing is that they wanted to know, quiere saber ellos por qué este edificio, o si no, porque no se puede buscar otro lugares que es cerca, que no es tan cerca de ella.
Que ese lugar él lo renovó y todo está nuevo. Y me gustó lo que está dentro. Y como él me dijo que me da opción a compra, me interesaría bastante eso.
Well, I like the location, and also it will give me an opportunity to serve the community within just walking distances. And also I guess Mr. Damian liked the building, and he think there will be enough business for both.
No, thank you. You were aware of the 300, then you were aware of the 300-foot rule before you rented out this barbershop, correct?
¿Sabías eso? Que estabas ubicado dentro de 300 feet?
No.
No, at first he did not, I did not know.
Okay. Was this the third barbershop that you rented out after the other three? Was this the fourth?
Fourth.
Mhm.
Eso es la cuarta peluquero, ¿no? Yes.
Were you aware that the other three had the same type of rule, especially in the township of Upper Darby?
Entonces tuve que pasar todas las, como es regulación, que es lo que tiene ahora.
Sí, estamos haciendo eso.
Eso es tuve que hacer toda esa cosa al frente de
Yo tengo una pregunta para ellos.
No, pregunta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you were aware that the
No,
other...
listen to me. Repeat that question again, because he was not answering the question that you asked.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
no problem, absolutely.
Okay.
I asked, were you aware that the other barbershops that you own have the same 300-foot rule?
Sabía que otros peluqueros que lo que tiene, que tenían also también ese, como es, regulación que no se puede abrir dentro de 300 feet.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. So you were aware that those other barbershops had a 300-foot rule, but were not aware that this one had a 300-foot rule as well?
Entonces, no sabía que la regulación que estaba sobre de 300, pero en la cuarta, que no lo conocía.
No lo sabía porque como he visto en la Westchester, que hay 3, 4 barberías pegadas, pasaron una puerta y no ha pasado nada.
No.
He said more than that, though.
No.
Can you translate?
No,
what he
I
said?
think what he basically saying is that even Westchester, there are many right next to each other. And I think he didn't think that was,
So
the rule.
basically, okay, so basically you got away with it in Westchester and you were hoping to get away with it here in Upper Darby. Isn't that correct?
Close, you know.
Can you translate my question?
Yeah.
what is it?
So basically you were aware that you got away with it in Westchester barber shop, so you wanted to try it here in Upper Darby. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. He said Westchester Pike.
Westchester Pike,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, not Westchester.
Yep, in
Wait.
Havertown. Thank you
Yeah.
for correcting me.
Mhm.
So you were aware then of the regulation in that, on the one with Westchester Pike, and you did it, you opened it up anyway, and since there was no consequences, you thought, try it here in Upper Darby.
Entonces, él está preguntando lo que están en Westchester Pike, lo que abriste.
No, no.
Sabía, pero tuvo problema, o sabía de regulación, pero tuvo problema o no tuvo problema.
No tiene problema. Esa barbería que está recién ahorita abierta es de una amiga mía.
No, he did not have that problem.
Yeah, okay.
He did not have that problem.
Can someone refresh my memory? What, you were talking about three other locations. What are the three, I don't mind if council answers this. What are the three other locations we're talking about?
Yeah, 2 in Upper Darby Township and 1 in Havertown.
So let's discard the one in Havertown because that's not relevant to this. Where are the two in Upper Darby?
65, what is it?
6505,
6505, Marcus,
6794, Marcus Street.
what is it?
Both of them are on Market Street?
Yeah, Marcus Street, but the second one is in Havertown. And Millwood.
Millbourne.
So we're talking about one location in Upper Darby then?
Yes, one more location in Upper Darby.
What's that? That's 6505 Market Street?
What is it, 65?
Yes, Marcus Street is Millwood.
No, 65 what?
6505 Marcus
6794.
Street. Millwood.
So the only location you currently have outside of this location on Marshall Road is 6794 Market Street?
Yes.
In Upper Darby? Yeah, okay. Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay, he does not have any more questions.
For this witness? Okay.
No.
Then I can offer you redirect if you have any. or-
No, but I would like to call a couple of his of supporters, if that's allowed.
As witnesses or in public comment?
Well, basically in explaining where they live and why they support the,
So that's just public comment.
oh, okay,
We'll have
sure.
them at the end then.
Okay.
Do you have any other fact witnesses, the other witnesses?
No,
you
no,
have?
just the exhibits.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll move the exhibits. Mr. Bagnato, now would be your opportunity if you have any witnesses or evidence you want to present.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to call Angelica Gonzalez.
Okay,
To
so
testify.
you guys can sit down for a minute.
Sure.
And we'll call you up for cross-examination.
Okay.
But Ms. Gonzalez, if you can come up to the microphone. You can have Ms. Gonzalez sworn in.
Can you raise your hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you spell your first name for me?
Angelica,
Can you spell it?
Angelica. You're welcome. Good.
Can you back to your microphone?
Yeah, absolutely. Move me around. Okay. All right. It's more comfy. It's more comfy here anyway. Okay. So tell me, where is your business located?
I have a three business in Upper Darby,
You have three businesses.
7164 Marshall Road, the one we're talking about. I have is 7325 Westchester Pike. I have it in 6818 Market Street. And I have another one, no, four. I have another one in Drexel Hill, 3023 Gary Road.
What was that, number again, please? What Garrett Road, what's the number?
2033.
Okay. And where's your business located in regards to where Mr. Jimmy is trying to open his barbershop?
7164 Marshall Road.
Okay, okay. And how far away is his barbershop from your barbershop?
It's maybe it's 100 or 150 feet.
Okay. And how do you feel that, do you feel that this would affect your business if this barbershop was open?
Of course, yeah. We have our clients, but I don't like to have a special him across the street from my place because I don't know if it's going to turn like a personal, I don't want to say a fire. He's been working for me. He was working for me for 12 years. I know I filled out all the paper to give him a barber license. Actually, I called the board when he left from the shop, and I did give the barber license. He said, no, I don't know. So when he left in the bad conditions. I started in this this township to work 22 years ago. I have it, my sister was working there. She left, she has her own barbershop. I have it, Rosa. She opened her own barbershop. And I have a Manolo, another guy, he used to work for me. He opened another barbershop. I'm fine with them because everything they did right, I'm fine with them. I am friends with them. The only guy I have a trouble is with the Sir Jimmy Damian. He's been posting me on Facebook and social media saying things about me. I just try to keep quiet. I don't want to go any farther from this. So I just want him far from me. I don't want him to be closer to my place because I know we're going to have a ending fire. I don't want that. I just wanted him to go to do his business. I want to work in my business and just live my life alone.
All right. Well, I have no further questions.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. He might have some questions.
Miss-
He's
yeah,
gonna ask you some
if can stay
questions.
up,
okay?
Mr. Chandler?
Okay. Ma'am, isn't it true that your shop on, your hair salon on Marshall Road does a lot of business?
I was there 22 years.
Okay, so you have a lot of customers, isn't that true?
I have a customers, this is not like that reason. The only reason I don't have him to open a barbershop across from my place, because it's gonna be like a little girl, I consider it like a girl because that's the way he talk, like, he's worse than a woman. So
but
he's gonna be talking like about me, he's gonna be
Well-
in front of the barbershop saying things.
No.
I don't wanna have that show in the
Ma'am,
shop, and,
Ma'am,
you know.
If Mr. Damien agrees not to say anything about you, anything about your shop, wouldn't that be okay?
No, sir. I know him. He posts me on TikTok
Okay.
all the time
Okay,
saying
hold on.
things about me.
Ms.
That's
Gonzalez?
not- No.
I have to stop this right now. We're here about the location of the businesses.
Okay.
I understand, I think it's very clear from the testimony so far tonight that there are personal issues between you and the applicant. The board isn't here to resolve those issues, and we can't, the board cannot consider those personal issues
Okay,
in this. So
so-
it's about two barbershops being
Closer.
within 300 feet of each other.
All right.
That's-
So, okay. So he can go up in 300 feet away from my place. It's
Ms.
okay.
Gonzalez, isn't Marshall Road a very busy road?
It is a busy road.
Okay, so since he's on the north side and you're on the south side, isn't it difficult for people who want to walk to go to your hair salon instead of staying on the north side?
I'm telling you, I don't want him to be like 100 feet away from my barbershop. He can go and open another one. He can go 300 feet. He got to respect, the law. Okay, I know it since 3 years ago, they changed the law here. It's 300 feet away from another shop. So if he know that before he's starting to fix that place, he should know the law, it's.
I have no further questions, thank you.
I have no redirect.
Any board questions for Ms. Gonzalez? Any redirect, Mr. Bagnato? Oh, Bob does. I'm sorry. Hold on,
Well,
Mr.
there's a
Gwynn has a
question.
question for
Oh,
you.
sure.
How far away is your barber shop from the proposed barber shop?
150 feet away.
50 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. No further questions?
No further questions. Any other witnesses you'd like to present?
No, no.
Okay.
No further witnesses. Unless
There is no other parties,
quiere
so
hablar como comito público más
we
tarde?
can take public comment now.
Okay.
Is there any public comment?
Yeah, I think.
So this
I
is,
think
this
both
isn't, a-
sides have public
okay,
comment.
we'll do this in an orderly fashion. Okay. Can we, if there's going to be that many people speaking, can we put a line down the middle aisle here and we'll have you come up one at a time? Whoever wants to go first. Okay. Sir, would you like to go first? Yes. Please come up to the microphone. Can you state your name? We're going to have you sworn in.
Mikhail Muhammad.
Entonces haz un cola, dile a hacer un cola. Haz un cola.
Yes, I do. Michael Muhammad. Muhammad.
And please give your statement in support or opposition to the application.
I've been working with Mrs. Gonzalez for the past 12 years. I signed on with her directly after Jimmy left as a result of being arrested. When Jimmy came back from wherever he was at, I got to know Jimmy, and I found that Jimmy was a pretty good dude up until he had a disagreement with Ms. Gonzalez, okay? At that point in time, he just cut us off completely, and he went off and opened up a barbershop, okay? Since then, he has been pretty malicious towards the establishment that Ms. Gonzalez had created, which was a part of him too. Now, since then, Jimmy is trying to open up this place across the street on Marshall Road. It's too close, it's too conflicting, and it would probably be problems with the traffic of the people. So I would hope that y'all take in consideration that he is in violation of that 350-foot rule. That's the law,
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed.
yeah.
I'm just going to ask anybody else who comes up to keep your comments tailored to the location of the two barber shops and not about any interpersonal issues. Sir, if you can state your name, we'll have you sworn in.
My name is Andres Avila.
What's your name again, please?
Andres Avila.
Can you spell it?
ANDRESAVILA.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if you need to be quite as close to the microphone.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I know Jimmy like since 5 years ago. We were friends. I live in 426 Long Lane, Upper Darby. And so I always have haircut with him. And then when I knew he's gonna open a new one in the Marshall Road, so I said it's gonna be good because all of the neighborhood right there, like wants a barber shop but for men's, and I'm gonna feel good if he's gonna open right there. And also he was opening last year on December, but he didn't. So I asked him why, and then he told me about the problems he has right now. So, but if you ask me, I want a barbershop close there, a barbershop just for men's, right? And I'm gonna feel good when it's a man is gonna take care of me. Okay, thank you.
Who's next?
Anyone next?
Any other public comment?
These are all employees of Ms. Gonzalez. All of them work at different shops that he owns.
Okay.
He employs quite a few people in the community of Upper Darby.
Okay, well, thank you.
Eso es todo.
Any other
Right, no.
speakers?
No, we don't, that's it.
Okay, so I think,
Closings.
yes. Is the board okay with closings?
Yes.
All right.
You're the petitioner, right?
You're right.
I guess I go first if he is the burden. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stated, I represent Angela Gonzalez. And you're right, I'll keep the issue short and tight. The law, follow the law. It's 300 feet, 300 feet. This property testified on both ends is saying that it is between 150 or 100 feet away. That there is something of importance. Not just the drama or the history in the past, although you all heard it. You know that there is a history and you know there is a past and there's probably some vindictive reasoning behind opening up a barbershop right across. And there's some logical reasoning as well because this gentleman worked 12 years in her business, working on those clients. Doesn't want to lose those clients because he's opening them up and he gained a relationship. But he already has his own success because he has 3 other locations. One of them, again, in Upper Darby. And he testified that he didn't know about the 300-foot rule, the 300-foot law of distance. But he did know when he opened up the other one in Upper Darby and the other one in other locations. So take that into consideration as well. And take also into consideration that this woman has been a pillar of this community as well, not for 12 years, but for over 23 years. And then take into consideration that she owns multiple other places in Upper Darby as well and has employees. There's nothing vindictive here. She just wants to know what's fair. And what has already been fair and what already has been made by the decision by that officer that there was a violation, this business cannot open up. And how did this business become open up anyway? He should have found out and applied here beforehand. And instead he's hoping. What did he do? He opened it up anyway, hoping no one would know. And that's why it has a big yellow stop sign on it, saying that you cannot proceed. You cannot. He has no choice but to be here. He has the capability to move another 200 feet and find another location. Not today. 300 feet's the law. We need to follow it. Thank you.
Excuse me. Well, Ms. Gonzalez is a very successful business person, and she has a lot of customers. And it's our position that having our client open a barbershop down the road will not really impact her business because she's very successful. She has a lot of friends. She has a lot of customers, good word of mouth. So our position is that her business will not be affected by our client's barbershop. Moreover, as she admitted, Marshall Road is a very busy road. It's basically hard to cross by foot. And a lot of our clients, my clients' customers would come from the north side of Marshall Road by foot. And otherwise, in order to get to Ms. Gonzalez's hair salon, they'd have to cross Marshall Road. So it's a matter of practicality. It would be much easier for clients on the north side of Marshall Road to go to Mr. Damien's barbershop. So for all these reasons and his own testimony and our exhibits, we ask that the board approve our application. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the board ready to make a decision, or do you need to discuss?
What, Mrs. Gonzalez, what type of haircuts do you do for your living? And sir, what type of haircuts do you do for your living? Are they the same style?
In my barbershop is unisex, but we do more men than women now because I was there doing women, so I'm not there anymore. So my 3 barbers I have there, they do only men.
Thank you.
Me and my barbershop only use designs. There are a lot of people, the new clients, I like to use designs, letters, pictures. I want to design the haircut, the style. If she don't do that, the barbershop can do it.
How you know? We do.
Hold on, no, we're not going to do that. Stop. It's just, what do you do? We're not going back and forth here.
Yes, barber, that's it.
So
No woman, no nothing.
you just do men's cuts.
Yes, ma'am. The beard and the haircut, that's it.
And currently, you're saying even though you wouldn't exclude the possibility of placing someone there who cuts women's hair, currently you only cut men's hair?
Men's hair, yes.
Okay.
I have 3 barbers.
Does that answer?
I do have a question. I just want to make sure I heard both of you correctly. Outside of what the law says, I'm not negating the law, but I think I heard you say, Ms. Gonzalez, that your business would not be impacted if he were to? It would or it would not? It would. And in what way would your clients, some of your clients
We
go?
have a lot of walk-ins, so if we depend from the walk-ins and they can go any barbershop, if it's another barbershop closed, of course it's gonna impact us.
And,
So we not work by appointments, we do more walk-ins.
right.
So if we do only by appointments, it's not gonna affect me.
Right. And there's no way to tell what percentage that you could guesstimate it would impact your business?
I can say, but it will impact, that my barbers, they're not happy, to having another a barbershop across the street.
And Mr. Jimmy, because I don't want to mess up your last name, would you, if you were, in spite of the 300-foot rule, how would your business be impacted if you had to go to another location? And would you intentionally be, I think you're successful.
Is he answering this, or is there?
I think his translator is going to do it.
Okay.
So if he had to move to another location, how would that impact your business, since he has 3 or 4 other shops?
He already spent a lot of money, and at first he did not know with the other business was closely located, and he spent a lot of money, and economically it's gonna get hurt. he think that, since he only cut the Mensa hair, and also surrounding community, there are a lot of houses, and people can pick and choose, dislocated north side and south side. They are completely different. One is the north side and the other south side. So it is kind of different kind of a business clientele.
Okay, we, the board, would like to make a motion to deny the variance. All in favor? Aye.
A written decision will be issued within 45 days of tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Is there any other business?
I'd like to